Today's podcast, I'm joined by Ali. Ali is one of our clients here in Dubai. He has scaled his coaching business to making 5K in his first week and 15K in his second month. He is a local Emirati. We're going to go through exactly what he did in terms of scaling his business, leaving his full-time job, and the mindset that comes in terms of from a growth perspective that you need if you want time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. Now let's get into it. So first question I want to ask you, Ali, is take us back to your previous career and what you were doing prior to fitness coaching.
Prior to fitness coaching, I was just doing 9 to 5, I believe, yeah. And I didn't fit in, I believe, yeah. So I was like, this is not my place. I need to do something else. I didn't know what, but I knew I could do something different.
And what triggered that decision for you to make a change?
I mean, when somebody could control your time, I believe like, no, it's not me. I want to control my own time, even if it's harder, even I'm going to work a lot more, but I was like, I'm going to do this, but not somebody is controlling my time.
And I'm a big believer in that. For me, it's always I wanted time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and not be told when I have to go to lunch, when I can go to the toilet, when I can eat, and when I can do whatever. I don't know if it's the same for you. Like one of the big reasons actually originally I wanted to get out my 9 to 5 job just so I could go to the gym when I wanted. Like it's actually a true story. So that was a big driver for me. What was the thing that sparked your passion to go all in on kind of fitness?
All in because, see, since 15 maybe, I tried bodybuilding with my oldest brother, okay? I didn't like it at the beginning, but let's try. I was a skinny guy and I was like, I want to get some muscle because I saw the result on my brother, okay? And just kept going. Then I coached him. See, like first he coached me, then I coached him. And I, was honored because he put, like I said, faith on me. He started to believe in me like, oh, this guy could coach me and he could sow the future on me. So he gave me I don't know how to say it. He gave me the permission to coach him and I did it well, I did well.
Was there ever a fear for you in leaving that previous job? Because that's where most people get stuck, is they can't make that decision and they delay that decision so long that then they are almost not an opportunity they can make that decision anymore.
See, for me, I'm an all-in guy. It's like, a gambler. So I don't care, I was afraid when I was I was terrified, but I was like, I'm going to do this. I was in debt, okay? And I lose a lot of money in crypto, whatever. But I was like, I'm going to quit my job. Even if there is no security, there is no, let's say, salary, I'm going to do this myself and I don't need anyone's help. I mean, there's a lot of people stood by me and first one is my mom. And it was crazy because, older people, they're like, how are you going to make money without, a stable job? But she was like all in with me and I love her.
That's very interesting then. So do you think Emirati culture is more risk adverse or more tolerant of risk than Western society in like families?
See, I was in the US. I lived there for 5 years. I remember one guy said, he saw me like doing business, coaching people. He said, non-US people are like taking advantage of the US better than the Americans. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, see, people are just working 9 to 5 and you're just killing it here. And I believe the same here. Like when I went to your event, Charlie, I was like, okay, where is any Emirati? Where's any Arabic guy? Why? It's all just people from around the world. And I just was like, okay, this is the same thing that guy told me in the US. Here in the UAE, it's the same thing. Like people, come on, there's a lot of opportunity. And you see everybody's moving here, right? So it's kind of sad for me.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's maybe culturally not as accepted yet?
No, I believe we get a lot of good salaries and people just, I would say, stuck in it. Like you can work your job. Don't be like me and quit your job, okay? But just do a side hustle. There's a lot of opportunity, Just it's Dubai, man. I've met people are 23 making millions and I was like, what I'm missing here, So I think this is, like pushed me a lot harder to work, and make my own business.
So you mentioned you obviously lived in the US. What do you think is the big difference from living in the US versus living in Dubai?
No, to be honest, in the US, you got to do whatever. You can do whatever you want, I would say. So nobody can judge you. Here, like, you have your family, okay? So they're gonna, a little bit pressure you, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But in the US, I had my freedom to go all in, okay? And that's what made me started, Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think almost maybe seeing American culture with that they're very that way inclined?
American culture, they're always supportive, And when I did my, coaching there, everybody was supporting me. And I loved it. That's the most maybe good thing about the US. They are always supportive,
Yeah, for me, they're probably the most positive people in the world in terms of like trying to lift each other up.
They don't know you and they're like, come on, even in the gym, anywhere, man. So if they see a good t-shirt, like, oh, you have a nice t-shirt, no? That's Andy go.
Dude, like the first time I remember I went to America, I think might have been in 2019 when I went with Mike to Columbus, Ohio to the big Arnold's thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember like people would just stop you being like, I like your hair, I like your jacket. I'm like, in the UK, like someone says that they think they're going to rob you or something. So it's like, we're so like reserved and kind of standoff. But I like that because it kind of gives that community feel amongst things. You mentioned that you came to our event. Have you been to anything like that before? It's
my first time, and I believe it's the best decision I have ever made. I believe people should like connect with people who make, more money than them, have more knowledge than them. And it's always worth it because I've gained that money I spend on going to that event, So for now, I made in coaching only since I started, Charlie. It's like 30K now. I told you 961, okay? And I have another business, but I don't talk about it because I feel it's cheating because I'm only talking about your program. But in total now, I made 45,500,
okay. What would you say is the biggest thing that's driven that forwards for you?
Being in the event?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, no, in terms of getting to that type of revenue, because a lot of people, if they're a personal trainer in the gym here in Dubai, they might listen to that and think, well, that's unachievable for me.
No, I saw in your comments, like you put my video like as an ad and a lot of disbelievers. I was like, he's a liar. How much you get paid to say this? And I was like, man, this is my reputation. I'm not going to ruin my reputation to say, oh, I made 40, 30. Yeah. I don't care. And come on, like, let's say there's a guy from, like, not from Emirates. Okay, not from UAE, sorry. He can lie because he's going to go back to his country. But for me, it's like... me lying about this and staying here is just gonna chase me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like chase me forever. So I can't be lying, Does that make sense?
100%. I think that's also where the internet is a very interesting place where you see some people inspired by other people, by certain things. Some people will always call everything a scam, and they call something a scam or this isn't real because they know they can't do it because they don't have the belief system in themselves to do it, if that makes sense.
When I told people who are making more than me, like I made this amount of money in this period, he's like, oh, that's good. He didn't question. He didn't have a doubt, oh, maybe this guy's, but other people, and I'm sure they are making less than me, they're saying this is a scam or whatever.
And that's just a people's mindset and what they're exposed to. I think that's actually less in Dubai because you're exposed to a lot of success and wealth, whereas like the UK is very cynical. So like everyone in the UK will throw stones at people who are trying to be successful, which is why a lot of people are leaving and a lot of them have obviously moved here like myself.
Everywhere, even in the US, I met people, would try to put you down.
US is bad as well.
Even here, but you got to focus on the positive people, and this is never people. Go to someone who's, negative, because you can't lift someone up, so always go away from them. If somebody's negative, don't try to fix them. Just try to tell them something, didn't work, just go away, man.
What do you think was the biggest single thing you took from being at the event?
Being at the event. Okay, so I'm going to mention two people, and I appreciate them. These two people who made it, I would say, possible, So Dave, of course, Dave Kennedy and Dom. When you hear like they're doing 240 or 200, I was like, okay, it's doable. Because I've never thought about that number. When I hear people doing 20K, I was like, is that real? But when you hear like 200, it's like, okay, 20 is nothing, 30 is nothing. And I've made 30 and still nothing. And I believe so. It's not just me just talking, you know, I like believe deep inside, like I should go more. So thanks for Mr. Kennedy and for Dave. Yeah, I'm serious.
I think it's good because it's also, I remember in start of 2020, I thought I was like a Billy Big Balls in fitness in the UK. I was making like 30K a month. And I remember I went to an event in America, and it's probably a similar thing that happened to you. And I met one of my best friends now, and he was like, oh, how much money do you make a month? I was like, oh, like 30K, like this is really good. And I was like, how much do you make? And he was like, 1.2 million. I was like, yeah, like my soul and belief system just evaporated in one.
And you feel it in your gut, you know?
Yeah, it's like, because like, it's like someone inventing fire. And I had the same thing actually, funny enough, that I did to a massive group of people, that I spoke at an event in 2021 for someone else who has a mastermind here in Dubai. And I was making maybe 150,000 a month at the time in my fitness business. And I was like, oh, like I casually was just saying these numbers, like, because I didn't know, I thought that was normal because all my friends were doing the same thing. And people were just like perplexed, where they couldn't sleep that night because they couldn't understand how that was even possible, because they were stuck making 5K a month, and this other guy's doing like 150. Like, how is this even possible? So I think that's like the law of exposure. When you get exposed to people at like a whole nother level, you're like, oh shit, that actually is what can be possible. And people remove that glass ceiling for themselves.
Yeah, so that's why people should go to this event. I believe just to break through that, you know, slave mind, I believe, okay? And just go, man, just go. Just risk it, just pay, you know. It's gonna come back 100%. Just believe in, and I mean, I'm a risk taker. So if you don't risk it, you're not going to achieve anything.
No risk, no reward, right? I think that's the way frame to think about. And I also say for anyone who's listening to us, our next event is the 13th of March. So I'll drop the link below if you would like to come. So it will be phenomenally good. One of the speakers we've already got confirmed is Ali Aldhanhani, who's like a former special forces guy from the UK, who's also been on the podcast, who's another level. Coming back to your business, with focusing in like kind of the Arabic world, is there a limiting belief, do you think, that some people have that will, what works in the European markets or with the US, and that people will coach online? Because say, for example, a lot of people in the Middle East have personal trainers. Why would they need online coaching?
I mean, a lot of people believe you need a coach in the gym, okay? And I'm trying to just break through, you know, that idea. Like all my clients, or I'd say most, I've trained them online, and all of them have a spectacular, like, you know, results. So it's possible to do it, you know, online because people believe I'm just going to send them on WhatsApp just a bullshit, you know, PDF. But no, I send videos. I send, you know, a lot of reports. What did you do like last month? Blah, blah, blah. Talk to them in like every month, like in Zoom. How is it? How much like weight do you lose? Everything, you know, I track everything. And that's, you know, if people find out, I would say this idea of online coaching with the right person, I believe I can, you know, change the perspective of people.
Like, in my opinion and perspective, like I have an online coach, guy called Alex Coquel, who coaches me, who has done for the last 2 years. Shout out to Alex, the highest level coach in the world, I think. It works so well because it's flexible. Whereas if you've got a personal trainer, okay, I have to be at the gym at 9 a.m, but then like, oh, I can't get there from 9 a.m, so I've got this other thing to deal with. Whereas if, like, particularly if you're someone who is a high performer and you run your own schedule, it doesn't really work that well to necessarily have personal trainers, in my opinion. And also, most personal trainers are glorified babysitters. You're like a human dog walker putting people on a treadmill. Like if you're a trainer and you put your client on a treadmill for 20 minutes and you just stand there talking to them, you're literally like a human dog walker putting someone on a treadmill. It's pointless. So it's like, A, don't do that if you're a trainer because it's a terrible use of time. And I also think that why most people's businesses don't sell online well is because they're not clear of the 4 Ps in terms of like the person, the problem, the process, and then the program to kind of fix that. So like if you can be very clear with that, it's then easy to scale coaching business.
I mean, look at the pros, let's say Hari Chupin or whatever. He just come to the US prior to the show 3 weeks, and just his coach, Hani Rainbow, just look at him, you know, take care of him. That's it. And he won, you know, like all the year, he's just, you know, overseas. Last 3 weeks, you just need maybe your coach, and that's it, you know.
Do you think, this is a good question, it's not business related, do you think Arabic bodybuilders have better genetic than Western bodybuilders?
I mean, look at Egypt, okay? So Big Ramy conquered, I don't know, New York Pro in 3 years. So I would say it's a competition between, it's not racist, between Egyptians, I would say, and black people.
Oh, bro, white people got the short straw when it comes to genetics. On that aspect.
I mean, yeah, even Rich Piana said, may God, bless his soul, or like his soul rest in peace. I mean, he said, you can't compare yourself to black people. No. And he's right, and yeah, Rich Piana who just gave me that inception, So I was just sitting on my, I would say, university in the US. It was an Indiana university, and I saw a video of him. He said, there is something above a job. And I was like, it's sad. Like, there's people, just stuck in their job. I was like, that's my first, idea get me to, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm doing something else.
It's funny that you mention that, because I just had a flashback. I used to watch some of his YouTube, and I just liked the lifestyle that he was in the sun, driving around his convertible. He'd work out loads, also eat loads of junk food, just get jacked. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And I think it's funny how those maybe moments still stick in your mind years later. Do you think you are starting to do that for maybe like the younger generation of maybe like Emiratis and people in the Middle East?
So can you repeat the question, please, again?
So Rich Piana and maybe say something like Steve Cook created content that probably inspired me when I was younger to then be doing what I do now. Do you feel that you can do the exact same thing for maybe the Emirati culture?
That's a very good question. So when I started with you, like I said like I want to do just 10K a month or whatever. So I didn't believe I could do more, So now sitting here, and I told you in my whole business, because I do also copy trading. Yep. I'm a day trader too. And I traded funded accounts, like I would say 500, like up to 500K.
Yeah.
So me doing that number, so I believe, me doing those numbers, okay, make me believe, okay, I can break through and made as same as like Rich Piana did, I can make more. And see, like, shout out to Abdullah Al-Awadi. He's like, taking it to the next level. And he's maybe the first person in UAE. And I would say I could follow that path too.
Do you think more people will start to go down that route? Because bodybuilding and fitness is so popular here in the Middle East and Dubai.
It is popular. Like, let's say Dubai Pro, it's one of the biggest show. Now people say it's maybe the third best, show after Mr. Olympia and Arnold Classic. So we getting there, and a lot of, genetics, a lot of young people want to achieve, I would say, or win the Mr. Olympia.
Do you think it's essential for fitness coaches and trainers to compete?
Okay, so for me, I don't take people, I don't coach a lot of people, competing. I have just one dude, and the other people just lifestyle. Because for me, I'm a problem solver. I call myself, not a coach, because a lot of people just come to me, after they made, let's say, an accident, or they've been sick, or after a divorce. They just come and ask me for an advice. And I believe when I gave them my advice and I saw them, progressing, I was like, okay, I'm just not doing fitness. I'm just also, fixing people's life. So yeah, I believe I'm not just doing this for bodybuilding. I'm just changing also people's life, Does that make sense?
What's the most rewarding thing a client said to you?
This is a lot, man. But okay, there's one guy called Abdullah Shamsi. He made a major accident and his spine got broken. So he believed he will never, walk again. And now he have his six-pack. Okay. So afterwards he told me, I couldn't do it without you, and you've changed my life. And he just recently got married. So when I see him, doing those things, getting married, having his six-pack, I was like, yeah, that's the most rewarding thing, I believe. Yeah.
And I think that's also what will push you forward from a motivation standpoint, because it's positively reinforcing the message of what you're doing. And like, yes, you're making money, but you're also helping people.
I mean, first you focus on the money, and maybe that's a lot of people's mistake. They first, I want to make this, I want to make that. But later on, when you enjoy it and you help people, the money just comes, and it's weird. Like, it comes smoother, it comes easier, and even more.
Is there any difference in terms of how you think you need to coach people in the UAE or from the Arabic culture versus Western in terms of like food or specifics with that?
I don't think there is any difference, okay? You just need to, I don't know, like just give them what they gotta do, you know, fix their problems, and that's it. It's the same thing, I believe. Yeah.
Would it be fair to say, because obviously living in Dubai, people think big and they're pretty quick in terms of executing. Do you find your clients are very good just to do the thing if you just give it to them?
I believe a lot of people, because they don't understand the online coaching, so sometimes it takes a lot of time, but that's what I'm good at. So when people comes to me, I make sure they understand the program, they understand everything. And I always make sure, like for free even, like, let's meet at the gym. Let's see how you work out. Let's see, do you understand the program? And that's what I'm specialized at. And that's why my most clients, you know, have like incredible results.
So you were born in the UAE, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how old are you, if you mind me asking?
I'm 27 now.
Okay, so how has fitness and gyms in the last 27 years changed in the UAE?
Oh, I remember when I worked out in my first gym. It was in Khorfakan. Shout out to Khorfakan, best beautiful place in the world. I remember like the dumbbell was like, I don't know, what's rotten or rusted. Yeah, it was rusted, you know. And when you like, I don't know, lift the dumbbells, I just feel bad. And now when you look at, I don't know, Dubai, there's an Oxygen now and B1 gym and Train. It's so different now. And we have a very beautiful gym. It's in Khorfakan too. It's like on the sea and you can work out and look at the beach. It's so beautiful. Like, see now, even the culture.
What's the gym called?
It's Ozone Fitness called, And I believe you should come and we should do like a workout over there, you know? So yeah, we've changed.
What do you think of the top 3 gyms in Dubai?
I would say, of course, B1 and Oxygen, maybe Train. Yeah, maybe.
Train itself, Al-Quds has improved a lot, but I think, in my opinion, Dubai has the best selection in the gyms in the world, in particular in such a close proximity. So like, from within half an hour, there's probably 20, 25 like insanely good gyms you could go to. So if anyone's into fitness, that's like a huge kind of benefit. And I also think that it kind of gets repetitive training in the same place all the time. Like, and particularly you train for a long period of time. So sometimes just doing it in a different environment, I think helps a lot.
I mean, I talked about Train. It's not about the machines or whatever, but how the connection there. And you know how many people asked me about, how is Charlie? And a lot of people ask me, is he a scam? I was like, come on, man. You think I'm going to market him and, you know, be there if he's a scam? You know, just why people, I don't understand why people say it's a scam.
So people have that opinion of making money online or investing in themselves because it's a sign of insecurity in themselves. Because if you're not doubtful of me, they're doubtful of themselves.
Exactly.
Like I would back myself to sign up at anything, even the worst program in the world. I'll get something from it and make it work. And that's where like the mentality people need to come into things is like, I will be this person's best client. So like if someone's going to sign up with you, they need to come through the mentality of like, I'm going to be his best client. I'm going to like do the best check-ins. I'm going to check in on time. I'm going to do everything. So it's same thing to work with us. And like, if you have that best client mentality, whatever you do will work.
It will work, exactly. And let's say if a guy just sign up with you, Charlie, and he didn't make it, it's up to you. Like it's on you. I just believe because you just gave me. Cristiano Ronaldo said that. He said, "I can't make you a Cristiano Ronaldo, but I'll show you the map." And could you follow it? A lot of people say like they have a training at 10 a.m. They go to the field at 8:30, and they see him already training. Now we know how he became, you know, the best player in the world. You know.
Well, you hear stories like that, and about him, people like Kobe Bryant, and like. It's volume negates luck. Like if you do a lot of something, you eventually get good. And the most successful people have just done one thing for a long period of time and done way more than you realize. So I looked up a stat on podcasts the other day of like, okay, I get weird things come into my head. I'm like, I want to know this because it helps reinforce decision-making. And so I put into ChatGPT, what are the top 10 podcasts in the world and when were they started? On average, the top 10 podcasts started 9 years ago. Some of them were 17 years ago. The fastest one was Alex Hormozy, was 5 years and maybe one other. So like it gives context for people. They do something for a week and then they're suddenly not Mr. Beast. It's like, dude, it takes a little while. A good example, actually, we filmed another podcast yesterday with a guy called Anthony. So he's the biggest trainer in South America. Mm-hmm. Got 2 million followers on IG, 3 million on YouTube. He posted his first YouTube video 15 years ago. He posted on content for 6 years before he really made any money. So it's like, dude, I started posting content like 2015, 2016. I only started making proper money maybe 2018 to 2019. Like, because I didn't have anyone to help me, so I had to fuck around and figure it out. And it took me a long time, which like for you, it took you a week and then like a month. So I think that's where, if people believe in themselves, then you can achieve anything you want.
I mean, look at the biggest YouTuber in the world, Mr. Beast now, okay? If you go, like, you saw his old videos, he's saying PewDiePie, I don't know, 10,000 times, counting from 1 to, I don't know, 10,000, 100,000. See where he started from, you know? And he's like, he was just, you know, sitting and he was tired, but he's just kept on going, And see Mr. Beast, like, anybody just, you know, wants the chance to meet him or talk to him, you know?
Well, I think sometimes be careful what you wish for. So, for example, people want the results or the social media Mr. Beast has, but you do not want his lifestyle. Like I think I watched the behind the scenes of the Diary of the CEO podcast. They filmed that podcast with Mr. Beast. It was like 2-3 hours long at like 12:30 at night. Then he had just come from speaking at another event, did the podcast for 3-4 hours, then was getting a flight somewhere else. He gets like 300 flights a year or something stupid. He's never at home.
So we have a very good example, our Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. You see him like sometimes in 2 days, he's like in 4 different countries, seeing different presidents, you know, making connections, making business. And in 2 days doing that it's not, some people will believe like that's impossible, but it is possible. And, you know, he's not just sitting, he's doing his best, you know, for his people. So even the, you know, I could say the elite people, just working always to make it, you know.
Now, I'm not going to sound like Stephen Bartlett, but I know a lot of people coming onto our podcast and who are not subscribing, but still enjoying the content. If I have one small ask for you, it's please hit the subscribe button. It'll help us a lot. The work just doesn't stop. And I think there's an example of someone else I saw recently, can't come to mind, but it's like the most successful people are just non-stop all day long. And that's what is required if you want to play at that level. And I think that's where a lot of people, they maybe will get frustrated with other people who are super successful or wealthy because they know internally maybe they don't have the drive to do it, or the biggest thing is the fear of stopping them from trying, because it's the fear of failure.
I mean, see, like, there's a lot of sacrifice. You see people, you know, end up their relationships. They, I don't know, left their home country, left their, you know, families, you know, and just to make it, like, you see, there is a sacrifice. Don't believe like, okay, I'm just going to do this and it's going to be like a la la land, you know. There's a lot of sweat. There is a lot of dark side from that, you know.
Well, all 3 of those things you mentioned I did. So like, you have to, there's a cost to everything, and it's just whether you're willing to pay the cost, and it's whether the cost is worth it. And I think where most people have really bad decision making is they look at, okay, I can say invest $5,000-$10,000 in myself. Okay, it doesn't work, I lose money. It does work, I make hundreds of thousands of dollars for the rest of my life and I have complete freedom. It's probably a good bet. Like, and the framework I always use for an investment in something is, has the person done it before themselves? Can I see they've helped other people do it? Has this been going on for a while? And is this industry going to continue? Then it's like, if you're a competent person, you're willing to work hard, it will work.
It's also not just about sacrifice. I said just earlier about risk. So me just putting my money on paid ads, and I don't know if it's going to come back or no, you know, I'm just spending money every day on paid ads. But thanks God, because me believing in him and, you know, I'm just making my money back. So there's risk behind it too. So don't believe it's also just, you know, just going to come through easily or without, you know, any risk.
So I don't know if you remember Jordan Lee talking at her event. So he spends about $1.6 million a month on Facebook ads. And it always stuck in my mind. It's like, you just have to have the fucking minerals and the balls to be like willing to do that. And that's the difference.
I mean, see, how I break through when I hear, you know, Jordan Lee talking about himself, you know, doing 1.6 million on just paid ads. I was like, if I have that, you know, amount of money, I'm just going to keep it in the bank account. See, like just my limiting beliefs, you know? And when I hear that, I was like, okay, that's just Jordan Lee, just doing that on Facebook ads. What other people doing, you know? Like, okay, you just sometimes got to risk it. And I know, like, maybe deep inside him, he maybe doubt himself maybe, but he got, as you said, he got the courage to do it, you know?
And I think courage is the right word. I actually filmed a podcast before this talking about people's mindset with paid advertising. The biggest thing is that they actually don't spend enough and they're fearful. And I first started running Facebook ads in 2018, and I look back now, I'm like, my God, this was so easy and so cheap. And I was like, but I couldn't think logically of like, okay, well, if I put £1 in, I'm making £5 back or £10. Why don't I just spend 100 times as much? Because I'm like, and if you reverse engineer it back, let's say I want to have a business that makes $1 million a month, and I'm going to have a 10x my ads. Well, I need to spend $100,000 a month. So at some point, you're going to have to risk putting more money in the front end before you get the $1 million. Mm-hmm. So you have to push.
You have to
and
risk,
then it'll come.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like anything in life. The risk comes first and then the reward, where people want the other way around. They want the reward first and then the risk to come afterwards when they're already safe.
So let's say me, first quitting my job too. Okay, like first I quit my job, then I start making money. So first I risk it. I don't have any security. I don't have, any salary going to come to my bank account next month. So let's say I did in the first month, I believe $15K. But how much did I put in my paid ads? Just $1,000. So if we just do the math, it's, I don't know, 1,500, right? Percent. So I didn't know if that going to come back or not, but it did. It did. So that's the risk I took, and it did come back.
Why do you think so many people are afraid? I think maybe this is from my perspective of what I see. Mm-hmm. Emirati culture seems to be more risk tolerant and more willing to kind of push it from what I see.
I mean, maybe I mentioned this earlier. Everybody has, I don't know, like health insurance. Yeah. They have a good jobs. They have, like, I don't know, good houses. So why would we risk it, Don't risk it. Don't quit your job. Don't do something, I would say, just too risky, or just, just try at least, just make a lot, like side hustle. Try online, like it's easy to do, I don't know, like a trade license now. Yeah. Just online, just type in, put your ID. That's it. You're gonna like start your own business. And if it fails, I don't know how much you're gonna spend on it. 5K. I mean, when you travel, you spend, I don't know, 15K, 20K. Yeah. You just don't feel like it's nothing. But on business, like, oh no. So I think they should, I don't know, make a step. That's it.
How Dubai's obviously changed dramatically in the UAE the last few years. How do you think this is going to change specifically in the fitness industry as a local?
As a local, I'm going to change it
from your perspective. So what's going to change?
So what's going to change? I'm going to, do my best to change people's perspective. I got the skills. I got the skills, I got the talent to do it. I can push people forward, and I can change the fitness industry in UAE. I believe that's not easy to say, but trust me, I'll do it.
Okay, so with that, what do you think is your big goal for before 2030?
That's not an easy question to answer, but we're going to put UAE on the map for like bodybuilders and fitness industry. Like as Kuwait did. You see how Kuwait did like a lot of good work. We're going to do that too.
We've probably got better facilities in Dubai than Kuwait already though, right?
I believe, that's a good question too. Maybe Kuwait used to be better, but now I believe we're just maybe taking over, I would say. And I believe we are the same, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, going down more the fitness route, do you think is the difference between the Arabic style of like training and nutrition versus maybe like the American style or European?
So yeah, okay, that's a good question. So in American style, I would say they write everything down. Yeah. The reps, the weights, blah, blah, blah. In our culture, I would say, or in our fitness industry, we just go and just how we feel, and just push. That's it. And I don't think that sounds right, but we've made some, good numbers. We have made some, good results. And I don't know, maybe that's just a culture thing. And maybe we should change it to the American way, write everything down. Some people does, like let's say Sean Clarida, he just write everything down. I don't know who's else, like I forget the names, but they do always write everything down. I've made like a consultation with Milo Sarcev, him, of course, yeah. So he showed me his, notebook from 1992. How much, like, he take, like, everything, like his carb loading, everything. You write everything down. It's within him, you know. So I believe maybe this is the better way to do it, but still our people believe just do it, you know, how you feel.
Milos is an interesting person. So I trained with him in maybe 2019, 2018. And he's probably the most sadistic person I've ever trained with, who just generally enjoyed like fucking people up with a smile on his face. There was an Instagram reel somewhere of him like pushing the bar down whilst I was trying to press it, and he's like smiling and laughing, and I'm like fucking dying. But his training style is very interesting, and his supplement style, I think it'd be very difficult to replicate on your own. But I think it's very nuanced, and I think it could be effective. I think it's very, very difficult though.
It is difficult. And there's a video of him, you know, making that Chinese guy, I forget his name.
To me, Yakamoto. I know the guy you mean.
Yeah,
he's an H.
he cried, you know, one time, I don't know, doing calves, I believe. Yeah. I was like, oh. So that's how savage is Milos, you know.
From what I see, you mentioned about the people in the Middle East not really kind of like tracking stuff or kind of just going with the flow. I think it was Abdullah I spoke to, and he was like, I think he just does full body training, and he just picks an exercise that he feels like of each body part, and then just does like 2 sets, and that's it.
See, that for him, it's just, okay, that works for me. He'll just do it. For me, I can't do full body. Trust me, I just do chest, and I was think about biceps. Should I do biceps afterwards? You know, I don't know how he does it, but it works for him. For me, I'd like to do body parts just, you know, separately, and it works for me too, and it works for my client. So just that's how we do it. You know, we just do how we feel like. You know.
So what's interesting? So he would be seen as probably someone who's like a thought leader here, right? So. I remember in the UK, I also used to be coached by Jordan Peters, who was like one of the big people to push like DC training and like progressive overload, lift really heavy shit, push pull legs, upper lower body and all that type of stuff. What happened was then the whole of the UK starts training like this because of like a handful of people. So it's probably a similar thing in maybe the Middle East, that you maybe got a couple of people who then everyone starts to emulate the way they work out.
I mean, Abdullah, the first thing he did, he made people wear slippers at the gym, and a lot of people, you know, were mad. So that's the first thing maybe he did, not changing, you know, people's mindset. No, first he started with the slippers at the gym, and now you could see a lot of people doing pull-push legs, and that's from him too, full body from him too. So we made a lot of changes in UAE, I believe.
What's the biggest mistake you see trainers in Dubai making when it comes to getting client results? Because it's gotten better. When I first moved here, the quality of like training I saw was so bad.
So I would say it, and I believe this is maybe the worst thing I've seen. So people just try to suck people's money. That's it. They just don't care. Just try to sell them whatever. Just train them while they're playing the phone. You know, I've never done this. You know, just you got to focus on the client. So most of the people doing this, in in here, and we should change that. If anybody's seeing him playing with his phone in the gym as a trainer, we should kick him, kick his ass.
Banus is one person I know who's absolutely rife for that. And I think it's disrespectful to the client, but also you don't make yourself look very well. And also the pro tip for anyone who's a trainer is like, people are watching you. It's like, if you want to get more clients or you want to get online clients or whatever, people see everything you do. So like, it's kind of like a marketing display when you're coaching people. So I think that is something people need to put into context.
I mean, see how I chose you to, consult me as an online coach. I saw how you, work every day, how you consult your people, how you do, your podcast, everything. I was like, okay, this is a legit guy, okay? He's not just trying to take your money. He's doing it himself. And same with coaching people at the gym. I would say how I chose my first coach. He's always, professional. He's always, helping you, bringing the dumbbells for you. These small things makes change, Some people are just playing the phone, most coaches doing nothing, and they took the money. That's it.
Out of interest, how did you first hear about me?
Come on, man. Your ads is everywhere. And of course, like I saw you first time, I was like, okay, interesting. Second time, then like 100 time, 500 time, I was like, oh, okay, I should do it. Why I didn't do it like way before, I would say, because I had my own things to just work on. And I was like, okay, he's making a lot of sense. I'll start when I have the right moment. And this is for me, because for me, I could know where's the right moment for me. Some people, you just gotta, jump, just go for it. But for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but not now. And when I did it, I put my all effort on it. And I would say not all my effort, I believe. Sometimes I'm lazy. Sometimes I don't do the DMs, but I'm still doing okay. So what if I go all in? like in fitness industry, how I used to be disciplined, going to the gym, eating my meals. If I did that to my business, I swear I'll be, you know, just way ahead from now.
It's interesting. So, you know, I spoke earlier in the podcast about why you need to do a lot of something and then you kind of start to results. So like you mentioned that you've probably seen ads from me like hundreds of times and then eventually you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to message this guy. Mm-hmm. That is where people create their own luck in life, is you constantly kind of keep turning up every single day, keep chipping away, because that's where people stop too early when it comes to growing their business because they haven't got the success they want yet. So they're like, oh, I'll just stop. I don't know if you've seen the image of like the miners digging for gold. Mm-hmm. They stop like just before and they'd already dug so far. So like there's a point where yes, you need to quit some things, but deep down, like, you know, if you've really tried or if you haven't. And I can hand on heart say, like, I've never seen anyone go all in on trying to build a coaching business online and it not work. Like, it's impossible. Everything
is online now, Charlie. Let's say best currency is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like, I don't know, in the air. I don't know, it's the blockchain, you know, and it's the best currency now we have. I don't know, now it's in 92,000. Yeah. There's no currency in the world like holding this amount of, you know, value. So AI is taking over, right? So you don't think online coaching will be the same, you know? If that makes sense.
How do you think AI is going to affect coaching then?
Okay, so you can't do the coaching just by AI, I believe, because you need some human interaction with that. Because AI, sometimes we've seen, sometimes they give us like the AI, I mean ChatGPT sometimes could give you wrong answers. So that's why you need a coach who can understand, being there, tried everything by himself, then, you know, give the people the best recipe, I would say, to, you know, go all in and change.
The biggest thing human beings need is accountability. Mm-hmm. So like, if you work with someone who you respect as a coach and they tell you to do something, you're much more likely to do it than like, if you don't do it, ChatGPT is not going to be like, what the fuck did you do, Charlie? Like, why have you not done this?
I mean, a lot of people telling me I need someone, you know, to pressure me. Just people like built this way. They need someone to pressure them, to tell them, go ahead, you know, come on. And some people would say, okay, when I know I have like 2 weeks and then will be a check-in with you, I'll be like, I'm working harder just to, you know, impress you or show you like I'm doing good. And that's for him, not just for me, you know, just to show me. But that's a good way, you know, like a reverse psychology. You know, he's like doing better for himself just to impress his coach. And it's for him, you know.
So this, I think, is an interesting thing. I think coaches sending check-ins to their clients is a good way to think about that, because from the client's perspective, like, you don't want to look like a dick, and then you've like, oh, I gained 6 pounds this week because then I went out the weekend and I went to Wendy's and ate loads of stuff I shouldn't eat. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. So I think that's almost like an insurance policy to some degree to kind of keep you doing what you need to do.
I mean, it's also, I don't know, but in human minds, I don't know, sometimes you feel like when people pay, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this. So let's say somebody book a ticket to fly, I don't know, next week. Even if he's sick, even if he's whatever, he's going to go to the airport, doing all the security check, blah, blah, then go to the plane, even if he's tired. Same with, you know, paying for a coach. Sometimes you just feel like, oh, I got a responsibility now. I got to go to the gym. As you mentioned, Charlie, like ChatGPT, if I didn't do the work, he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't know. But when you know, like, there's something behind it and you risk something, you just do the work, I don't know, like, without realizing, I believe.
What will happen, in my opinion, it was already happening, is the AI will replace a lot of the bottom end of the market. So like automated apps, cheap programs. But people with a lot of money will still want to speak to someone and be like, and just, even if just for like fitness clients I've had before, they pay me like $10,000 for coaching programs, would be the easiest people to they literally send me like one message a week, being like, oh, this happened, what should I do? I'd be like, yeah, just do this. And the same thing, I had a client come work with me a week ago who signed up to work with me one-to-one, paid $50,000 for the year in bank transfer via WhatsApp. We didn't speak on the call. There wasn't any contract. He messaged me, I messaged him. He's like, yeah, I sent you money. Cool. Because that's like how high level people think. They don't actually they want less rather than more. I can give an example from my own experience I was coached by Luke Miller from J3 University, amazing coach. He was getting me to fill in these check-in forms that would take me like 45 minutes to fill in. And I was getting super stressed out while having to track all this shit. And he was like, this is getting a bit much for you because you're not filling it in very well. I was like, what if I just send you an email and you just answer these 4 questions? I was like, that's perfect. It's like often the highest level people will actually want the least amount of kind of fulfillment work.
I mean, I told you I'm a problem solver, so I did the same thing. Like, you don't have to, put a lot of effort. I'm gonna do all the work. I'm gonna send you everything. You just gotta do this and this and this. But me just putting most of the work on him. Tell me, how did you do this? Calls every day. Then he will be like, oh, that's a lot of work. I'm not doing this. So solving people's problem, you gotta do like something saves their time too and effort.
It's efficiency. People want the result, but they don't want to have to mess around with complicated stuff in the middle.
What do you mean by that?
The more you can kind of simplify something. So like I'll give you a good example. So like I'm rebuilding our school portal. So like the one for Fit Pro, I've already rebuilt. I'm doing a 7-figure one. A lot of it's actually taking stuff out and simplifying, because a lot of life and success is subtraction, not addition. So people think you need to add more in, whereas more actually makes more complexity, and then the results slow down. Whereas actually, if you said someone's getting in shape, okay, to get in great shape, you probably need to do 4 things. 1, you need to be in a calorie deficit. 2, you need to sleep. 3, you need to do some weight training. 4, you need to do some form of cardio. That can just be walking. That is it. If you did those 4 things, you would get in shape.
I mean, Einstein said, if you understand something fully, you can't understand it to someone who's 7 years old. So if I'm not understanding what I'm doing, I can't, even coach people. I just can't be, playing around. So for me, I try to simplify everything, and that's made me, successful at this industry, to simplify everything. You got to eat this, not always, chicken, rice, broccoli. And, I told you, like, as problem solver.
Coming into the fitness industry, was there other people in the UAE from an Arabic background you looked up to?
On like fitness industry?
Yeah, in the fitness industry, or even business.
To be honest, no. And there's a lot of great people, but for me, I don't look up to someone. I just look up myself and how I did, the last month. That's it. I just want to make myself better and better. I don't know if that's the right thing, but this is how I believe. And I believe I will do something different in this industry.
So it's an interesting way to think. So like I've had a lot of people say to me before, like, oh, is there anyone you look up to on a beat who I'm like, there's not one person. There's people, I like certain character traits. So I like certain things that they do, and I want to take that little section of the way they behave, and then I want to apply them to myself to become my own kind of master creation, if that makes sense. So I will look for certain people for inspiration in certain little things, but there's not one who I'm like carte blanche.
Yeah, so we take advices from people. Let's say Dorian Yates, for example, you had him in your podcast. So he said, I took a lot of advices from people, but this is just a subjective sport. So I just like to do everything myself. So same for me. I take advices from people. I hire people, to consult me. But at the end of the day, I do what I think is right. That's it. Does that make sense?
Do you think some people are too robotic in terms of not thinking about the advice they get given sometimes?
What do you mean by that?
So say they get advice from I'll give you a good example. So I think everything has nuance. So if you look at it from like a fitness perspective, I was probably in the best shape I've ever been in the last summer before that, 2024. And I did the complete opposite of everything that I was kind of told to do. So like previously. So like I trained fasted, just with an intra-workout drink. I did all my cardio afterwards. And whereas before I was like, oh, okay, I have to get up early, I have to do fast cardio, then I have to eat, and then I have to train. And then I did the opposite and I got way better results. So I think sometimes it's trying to get things to take your own perspective in terms of what will work for you.
Yeah, that's what, as I told you, I do what fits me. So for now, if I do chest, I just do 2 workouts, but I go, and the intensity, I go way crazy. Same with, chest and biceps, let's say. 2 workouts, but I do my best. I get the best result rather than doing, 10 workouts. So
in terms of from a business perspective, what do you think is the biggest things you've learned from me and NASA at 7-figure scaling systems?
There's no limit. Just open my eyes. There's no limit, and think outside the box, do the work. And I believe I'm just going to keep on going with the team. Yesterday I had a call with, sorry, I forget his name, Kellen?
Kellen, yeah.
Okay. And it's always helpful, to get, keep up with him. He's just open your eyes always on things, just you got to do this. You got to, do just your work. And sometimes that's why you need a mentor to guide you.
As people will have blind spots. What do you think was the blind spot for you before you started working with us?
How to, I would say, communicate with people. Like sometimes I don't know how to make the conversation into a lead,
Yeah.
And now I know how to do this like just right away.
Okay. What do you think specifically you were stuck with in that? What changed?
I would say marketing my own, Instagram. So I don't know how to fix my Instagram page because way before I just post anything.
Yeah.
Now I know how to be, specific. I don't know how to choose who I want to work with, how to make people, first when they click on my page, they know what I'm doing and they know like if I hire this guy, he's going to help me on ABC.
I think that's where it's then simple when you understand the process. Everything is like a set framework. And when you understand it, you probably see the other patterns in other industries and other things now, which I think is interesting. In terms of where your business has kind of grown, I think you mentioned your mum earlier. She's probably very proud of you.
She is proud and she is always, praying for me. She's always by my side. And maybe I'm lucky with this, to be honest. I don't know, maybe. Yes, I am lucky. Because a lot of people, get their, I don't know, negatives energy sometimes from their families, So my mom is always by my side and I'm lucky to have her, always supporting me. And, I told her I'm going to Dubai, like today, going to see Charlie Jonsson doing a podcast. She woke up early with me, like, okay, just, may God be with you. And just, that's just the thing I want. She's just by my side. She doesn't know what I'm doing, to be honest, like specifically, but she's like, I'm by your side because I believe in you.
It's funny because my parents have no clue what I do now, I think still. So they still don't really understand.
Until this day.
I still don't really understand. What I wanted to jump into next was just some kind of quick questions. What do you think is a must-have habit that you have that keeps you on track?
Discipline, that's it. You just got to do the work. It sounds simple, but doing it sometimes it could be hard, but you guys just have the will. And remember, there's bills to pay. So you got to do the work,
So in Dubai, everyone loves coffee. What's better for pre-workout, coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee. Arabic coffee, actually.
Which one? From where?
Arabic coffee, we have like our Arabic coffee, we put like, I don't know what it's called, to be honest, in English, but it tastes different and so bad, but it's the best pre-workout.
In one word, describe your coaching style.
My coaching style, some people call me the magician, so maybe I'm a magician, a wizard maybe.
Okay. Was there another bodybuilding coach who was called the Wizard for a while?
Really?
I think I can't remember, there was someone. Okay. What's the biggest misconception people have about being a fitness entrepreneur?
It's not possible because how I'm gonna feed my family with just being a coach. Even sometimes when I tell them like I'm a fitness coach, they feel sorry for me. It's like, okay, you go to the gym, okay, but they don't know like there's a bigger picture behind it.
I used to find that really funny when people said that to me, my fitness business, and I was making like hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. I was just like, what was your immediate reaction when you realized you made your first 5K online in 1 week?
It made me like I was right. I feel like I was right and people who didn't believe they were wrong.
What do you enjoy more, training clients in the gym or building the behind the scenes of the business?
I believe coaching people because it's made me, like having, I have to interact with people and make connections. And I love, having relationships more than money, to be honest, because when you have relationships, money will come.
Name one book, podcast, or mentor that greatly influenced your mindset or approach to business.
Rich Piana.
Okay. What specifically about Rich Piana?
Rich Piana, he's a loving dude. He's like always inspiring people and he doesn't care where you're from, how big you are. He's just like always supporting people. And I think without him and without Jay Cutler too, we wouldn't have like fitness people, doing, workout at the gym or podcast or, these kind of things. So they made it possible.
Jay Cutler's a G. I've met him a few times and he's, I got him on WhatsApp randomly, but he was trying to get my podcast, I got introduced to him, but he's a very kind person. He's someone I looked up to a lot because he was big, jacked, blonde dude. Lastly, if you give yourself one piece of advice when you're younger and when you started with this, what would it be?
Hire someone. That's it. Because sometimes you gotta like take, I don't know, maybe Rumi said this. He said sometimes if you do something like for alone, it might take you 2 years, but when hiring someone does know what he's doing, it might take you just 2 hours or 2 days.
Ali, big thank you for your time today. Everyone enjoyed the podcast, make sure you check him out. If you enjoyed the podcast, if you ask one massive favor, if you could hit subscribe, share the podcast and leave a review would be massive. And we'll see you next episode coming up. Thank you, dear. It's great.